Hey, we finna ride down to the swap meet, see if we can catch the China Mac, nigga, man. We heard he out here in LA running fades and all that. We wanna pull up on the homie, man, smoke something with him and shit, man. Know what I mean? Cause that's some official shit, man. Hey, get word to New York, man. Let them know, man, China Mac sturdy than a motherfucker. Let's get to that.
Shout out to China Mac though, man. That nigga, bro, he took his shit. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna keep a G with you though. Cuz socked me on top of my head. Nigga, I was hot.
That was the ignition switch right there.
That was the ignition switch. Cuz hit the top of this motherfucking head, nigga. Nigga, bang!
That was the ignition switch.
We was going at it. I'm gonna keep it G.
But at the end of the day, man, it was a friendly fade. You know what I mean?
Fade.
Nigga shook it. Nigga got down, shook hands like man. You know
but
what
listen,
I mean?
it wasn't. I didn't have some fights where I'm like, oh, that nigga can't fight. My nigga China Mac can fight. He can fight. He did his shit. You know what I'm saying? But when Cuz hit my head, nigga, I blacked the fuck out. I had to, by the end of that shit, I had to throw my homie, man. But in his defense, I'm like 2 times bigger than that nigga, bro.
Yes, sir. That nigga got some height too.
He got some height too. But once that shit was done, went to go eat. Shout out to my nigga Nam.
Nigga went to do big bust down.
We went to go fire ass Asian food spot.
Big bust down.
Fire. And going forward, me and bro gonna do some content.
I got 2 more questions for you, Eddie. You know what I would love to see you do? I would love to see you do a street like gangster film based on China Mac's life.
Choppy.
What up, y'all? It's Coffee back again with another one, man. And y'all see it out here in the aftermath of the China Mac AD fade that had to go down. They had to handle it like men. They had to get to that situation to get it off their chest and come to an understanding. And you see what it is now, man. China Mac is just getting all kinds of California love, right? We heard AD speaking on the fight, you know, in a very respectful manner in that one clip there. And, you know, a lot of people were getting the, I guess, misconception, we would call it. I was almost going to say conception. That don't make sense. What you talking about, Coffee? But the misconception that AD just ran through China Mac like it was nothing, you know, like he just aired him out and it was what it was. I mean, even if that happened, the fact that someone showed up and got down, they still get respect. But I'm just trying to point that out because you heard him talking about, China Mac, he knows how to throw them hands around a little something, you know, when he's got heart. And I believe that was because, if y'all recall, in my previous video when this whole situation first happened, I was pointing out that, I don't know if y'all caught that, there was, I believe at least 1 or 2 channels I seen throwing out some vids into the blogosphere, just trying to capitalize off this whole incident and altercation and it being viral news, you know, that everyone was like intrigued to know what happened. As we had saw the different videos going back and forth all day, then we heard, you know, where Whack 100 tried to mediate it on his Clubhouse 100 vibes, and they just could not come to an understanding at that point. So everyone, you know, was kind of following this all go down, and then, you know, videos start surfacing that it came to fisticuffs, right? Some people were out there, did y'all see that, where they were throwing pictures out there of someone who, like, from a distance resembled China Mac laid out sleep on the blacktop? Did y'all see that? You know what I mean? Based on that and the reaction that we saw after that, it was leading people to believe that, you know, China Mac just got aired out. But that was some real fuckery that people were throwing that fake ish out there like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just couldn't quite believe it. That you know, I don't know why, because we see all kinds of fuckery go down on a day-to-day basis. This is the internet. Just when you think you saw the most outlandish things, some more outlandish-ish goes down. Some more outlandish-ish gets uploaded into the blogosphere. But it was clearly some BS, and, you know, you heard AD making it clear, like, China Mac was with the business. He caught me with one that just had me black the fuck out and get super busy. It almost sounded like he went Super Saiyan or something like that. yo, there's really cats out there like that, they get japped up in the wrong way or whatever it is, and that switch just gets flipped. Like you heard them talking about the ignition switch. It's just another level of animosity and viciousness comes out, and they can just channel that in the right way, and it's a Rizzy. You know what I'm saying? Not to get too off topic, but when it comes to scrapping, which is wild, getting in fights and something is like, people lie about ish all the time, every day. It's just human nature. It is what it is, right? We know fighting is one of the top things I think people lie about. Like, comment and let me know if y'all feel that way. Like, that's one of the main things that people probably lie about on the regular, right? But for those who have really been in quite a decent amount of scraps throughout their life, right? Comment, y'all. Wouldn't you say, when it comes to, I mean, obviously just having hands, knowing what you're doing, being in shape, not gassing out, burning out in 30 seconds flat as soon as you throw 3 punches, which that happens a lot when it comes to average Joes getting down for the skritted of that. Like, some of them, street fights, viral fights are like rather underwhelming when you see people just, you know what I'm saying, throw 3 punches and just be sucking for wind. But I would say, right, again, for those who are knowledgeable about it, aside from knowing how to fight and technique and all that, wouldn't you say one of the main things that can give one a big advantage is like a very useful tool is being able to remain very calm and clear-headed. Like we were just talking about with AD, when that switch gets flipped and the viciousness kicks in and you go Super Saiyan most deaf. That's, a way to lay someone the fuck out, right? But for people who can just stay very calm and clear-minded, right? Johnny Bones. I remember one time me and wifey were watching Johnny Bones and Rashad Evans title fight, right? Johnny Bones, they went the distance. I believe Rashad was the first one to take him the distance, and he lost, by decision. But anyway, she was like, yo, that guy just looks so cool, calm, and collected, talking about Johnny Bones. You know what I'm saying? While he's out there, he would do those crazy elbows and spinning around. Like Johnny Bones, like his fighting style, for someone who's not super knowledgeable about UFC and MMA and all that, like, I don't know, I used to be like, that dude has a very unorthodox way of fighting, but it's lit. Like, I fuck with it. But anyways, she was like, yo, he looks so calm. And as I always share with y'all when, I am speaking on different topics on this channel, I always point out that wifey is like super on point about a lot of ish, like real talk. You know what I'm saying? Her instinct and the way she evaluates certain situations and just the different things that she peeps and stuff like that is often so valuable in life, as I've shared with y'all before. I mean, she ain't right about everything all the time, but she's right about a lot of the time. But anyways, then later I seen like an interview or something like that where Johnny Bones, maybe it was in an article, he was speaking about how he was like a calm warrior, how he was like able to stay calm in the midst of fisticuffs and altercations and things like that. And I was like, yo, that's bugged out. Like, wifey totally called that one. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm getting a bit off topic, as I tend to do. As y'all know, I am Jay Coffee Talk. I'm literally, you know what I'm saying, a voice floating around the blogosphere, speaking on all these different topics, music, news, sports, current events, life, and much more. So if you are new and just finding this channel, make sure you get in the comments and let me know your thoughts and an opinions on what we're speaking on this one. And you hit that subscribe button and tap in on future topics. But speaking of UFC and fights and this whole situation and all that, and China Mac getting all this love from the West Coast, you heard that first individual, he said, yo, we got to get down to the swap meet. We want to go smoke one with China Mac. Yo, tell New York, Mac is sturdy as fuck. Something else that I pointed out in a previous video, as you know, where I was speaking on this, as we know, this is something we see all kinds of woofing and arguing and all kinds of ish on the internet all the time, right? And, normally it's just talking and nothing really goes on behind it. And, I was pointing out how these dudes, deserve to be recognized for the fact that they handled this as men and they still continue to, have nothing but respect and all that, and sportsmanship, I guess, if you will, if you could, refer to some of the display of character that we've seen between these two gentlemen. But the other individual, I believe they said his name is Nam, and that's what the bro Lon the Don was telling me as well. That dude deserves to be recognized for what he did as well, because something that I want to point out often, in my opinion, and again, guys, comment and let me know if you would agree with this statement that I'm about to share with y'all real quick, is that in a lot of situations where cats are, maybe down to go out there, throw them hands around and get to the bottom of the issue, there isn't always, like in some situations when it's pretty heated, there isn't always an individual who plays that role, who's there. I don't know if we'll call it a referee, but someone to make sure, that everything goes down as it's supposed to. And when it's over, it's over. Because I think a lot of people fear, like when we see in UFC oftentimes, right? When, a ref will stop a fight, they'll be like TKO, it's a wrap. Someone's, knocked out, standing up, or someone gets dropped a certain way. They get a little woozy. Like, J-Rock All Money In was recently sharing on that Clubhouse with Push That Knife, how he had whack a bit woozy. When people get like that, in UFC, in combat sports, we see a referee stop it and say, yo, it's over, it's a wrap. You won. You know what I'm saying? Because if they don't stop that guy, that other person is about to get hurt very, very badly. And I feel like in situations where a scrap is about to go down, oftentimes people may worry that some bullish like that may go down. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, you don't want to be thinking about the fighting like, oh, if I lose, I don't want, like, you don't want to have that thought in your head, or you might not come out on top. That, you want to have some pure confidence and be ready to get it in. But do y'all feel what I'm saying? Like, if there isn't someone there to make sure things go down with respect, and be handled as men and gentlemen. And, shout out to that guy for doing that. That's a big deal. And not to mention just someone aside from that, from stopping, making sure it goes the way it's got to go, or stopping other people from jumping in, or just making sure everything is 100 across the board. You know what I mean? So all in all, this is pretty much a happy ending, I guess we could say. Two people had differences. They had their words. They spoke their piece. They met up. They handled it as men. And, they put their problem behind them, and they're going about their business. And it is what it is. Like, in the end, China Mac, he knows who he is as a man, as, everyone should. But what I'm saying is, to the rest of the audience and, different people who were taking notice of everything going on, respect him more. He's looked at more solid of a guy. And a lot of times people think if they do get in a fight and get their ass whooped, like, that's the end of their life. Like, they're going to go hide under a rock somewhere and die of embarrassment or something. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure, as I was speaking before to cats earlier in this video about, like, for those who really have been in a lot of scraps. And again, and if you haven't, there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to not engage in violence in life and have to go through situations like that, no doubt. But real talk, like, for real, you can just tell a lot of times a lot of people have never got their ass whooped or been in a fight or whooped someone's ass. It's just a very common thing these days that I think many people can recognize at many times. Comment and let me know if y'all feel what I'm saying there. But yo, we heard, AD showing that California love, that West Coast hospitality. We always hear about Southern hospitality, you know what I'm saying? AD gave him that West Coast hospitality. That other individual talking about he wanted to go and put some in the air with China Mac and show him some love. New York, he's sturdy as fuck and all that. We heard Charlemagne the God talking about he wants to see a gangster movie portraying the life of China Mac. And it's like, damn, man, like, China Mac is just getting all kinds of love and positive attention. Y'all comment and let me know if y'all would definitely tune into that movie. I mean, I'm interested. We're talking about how sturdy he is and how this, way, this whole situation was handled the right way. as, a respectable, mature individual and all that, a lot of people may forget, man. China Mac has been through a lot in his life and learned a lot of life's lessons. As we know, he did a prison bit and all that. But I think a lot of people forget that China Mac sat down with the man who was responsible with him sitting time behind bars and doing that bid, and they put their issue behind him. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people forget about that China Mac and MC Jin had a sit down that was all about putting the past behind them and moving forward. You feel me? So all in all, China Mac definitely, I think, as far as the internet audience once again is concerned, and again, this is not anything that I think China Mac gives a fuck about or anything like that. But it seems he's definitely earned a lot of respect points, and I think a lot of people will look at him in a different, more positive light moving on. I mean, he already has a big audience and all that, but you know what? Something else is crazy popped in my head. I don't know if they actually recorded this fight, which, in moving with this theme of putting the past behind him and all that, that fight should be pushed away in a vault somewhere. Or hopefully it wasn't even recorded, or just the footage doesn't exist. But if it does, I was thinking this footage is probably going to be locked away in the vault, filed right next to, who was it? Oh, Dizaster and Daylyt. Y'all remember that situation after Dizaster, the Math Hoffa scrap? Daylyt, I guess. How did that all go down for those who were tapped into that whole situation back in the day? Wasn't it like Daylyt was mad and he felt that Dizaster, his actions of doing that fucked up the business or opportunities or something like that? I can't recall, but reportedly they handled their issue. And it was just crazy. Like, a lot of people over the years have always been like, yo, did they really fight or not? I remember seeing Math Hoffa say, yo, that was some pure BS fluffery. Didn't nothing happen. They staged that. But if they did, they went to a lot of lengths to do that. Because just the way we saw AD showing his knuckles off to the people. I remember Dizaster showing his hands and his feet and his shins, and their shirts were all ripped up. Like, if that really was some BS, they went to great lengths to put that whole production together. But with all that being said, man, China Mac getting that California love. That's pretty much all I got. But there is one last thing in my bed. I know I'm holding y'all for a minute. But, again, that's the way we do it over here on J Coffee Talk. We just talk it up. That's all you got when you're a voice. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got is your words. Well, my words and my balls, right? Even though I'm just a voice, I still got balls. LOL, right? But what is kind of wild about it though, right, is even though it's great they were able to put this whole situation behind them, it's kind of wild that we heard AD talk about after it, they went out, they hit up a Chinese restaurant, had some good food. It almost sounded like a celebration or something like that, right? And that there's going to be content coming between them in the future. It's kind of wild that, like, they just weren't able to hash it out before it even came to that. You know what I mean? Like, if the whole situation popped off over China Mac feeling AD or Adam 22 or AD and Adam 22 or whoever, took his creative plans, ideas that he had for the Mac Eats episode they were going to do together. And then now they are going to make content together. Like, I'm just surprised that it had to come down to this. It really makes me wonder about that whole situation, which I'm still curious to know what you guys think about all that as well. But that's all I got, guys. I'm up out here. Thank you again for tuning in. This has been another episode of J Coffee Talk. Again, hit them buttons. Every engagement with the channel helps. I love y'all for the support that for those who do rock with me, or even, I truly appreciate you rocking with this platform. I'm gone, y'all. Peace.